michelada?
Yeah, michelada time.
I know a lot of you guys have been curious and wondering what COVID is like in Mexico.
¿Qué pasó?
Okay?
Money.
It was a very not pleasant experience. I feel like we were doing so good. We were on such a high enjoying Mexico. We traded one paradise for another. It's never ending here in Mexico. Close call.
That would have got very interesting very fast. Quick reminder, if you haven't done it already, you've only got 24 hours left to get your limited edition Mexico ECRB shirt before they are no longer available. We're gonna have 4 different shirt styles: a ladies short sleeve, a ladies tank, and then a men's long sleeve and a men's short sleeve, which you see me rocking right now.
And the best part about it is we are going to be taking 25% of all t-shirt proceeds and donating it to a charity in Mexico.
So if you haven't done it, click the link below, get your shirt now.
We're Liz and Dennis, full-time RVers who share all we eat and see as we RV North America. Last week, we successfully crossed the US-Mexican border. We're in Mexico! Making our way to an epic beachside campground. I feel like this was the best welcome back into Mexico we could have asked for. Today's vlog picks you up on a long and lonely drive through the Sonora desert to our next destination. Is voluntario?
Voluntario?
So something very interesting this go around than our last trip. All of the tolls we've gone through, every single one since we've crossed, has been voluntary. Meaning there are like independent groups in the area that will take over the toll booths and they pretty much shut them down. So whatever amount should be paid to the toll company isn't, and instead you can voluntarily donate to the toll booth operators now, the new ones.
The vigilantes.
Yes, the
toll
vigilantes.
vigilantes.
So very interesting. It's saving us a lot of money on tolls, which is really awesome. We have donated to a few of them.
What concerns me about it is, are services like the Green Angel still running if they're not collecting tolls?
Probably not.
And who are these people that are standing with buckets at the toll booth? Really?
True.
You don't really know, you know what I mean? Like that guy gets sticking all that money in his pocket and going home and not spreading it around.
It's true.
So
maybe we won't be donating in the future until we do some more research. All of these stops are getting like nerve-wracking. They've been banging on our RV and slowing us down, and they've stopped.
now they've got this one's straight up blocked off by cars.
Yeah. So some of them are not optional.
Not optional. No.
Okay?
Money. Okay.
Money para qué? Para qué? It was a very not pleasant experience. My stomach was like so...
I mean, they're not like super intimidating, but at the same time, the experience overall is not
fun.
Not fun, that's for sure.
Legit toll. First legit toll since we've been here. I'm not gonna lie, after that last experience, I've kind of welcomed it, but it is 328 pesos. So much more expensive. Okay, we want to talk about what we just experienced, because at first it seemed a little bit scary to us, but we didn't fully understand what these independent groups were about or why they took over the toll roads to begin with.
And we didn't want to leave you with the air of, this is dangerous and I'm never going to travel a carretera or autopista in Mexico because of what you just showed me.
So what we've learned from asking a few locals who spoke English and could kind of explain a little bit more in detail for us was that the toll roads were built in a lot of these areas without permission through some of the small towns that existed there long before the toll roads did, because it was so unattainable for them to be able to afford and use and access their village and the roads they took over, and they are now charging sometimes a fixed rate. So some of them will actually tell you it's 50 pesos to pass, 100 pesos to pass. Others will be completely voluntary, where you don't have to donate if you don't want to. But we do suggest donating.
Now that we know that it goes directly to support fresh water and education in the towns, we're happy to do it. It's just at the time, they didn't have the words to explain to us what was happening, nor could we understand if they did. So it felt a little strange.
So that's what happened. We just wanted to clear up any confusion about the situation and hopefully give you more information so that if you're planning a trip here, you know what to expect, what's happening, and how to help the community. Now, back to our drive. Well, we made it to our next stop. We are in the middle of nowhere, but it's called Hotel El Mirador, and it's on the beach. It's a beautiful spot. There's no fence blocking our beachfront view, which is great. The sun is setting. There's a restaurant we can go to, full service hookups again. But I have gotten our first bout of Montezuma's revenge. Bound to happen. We knew this was, our stomachs have to get used to being back in Mexico, and 24 hours is all it took for me. So I'm drinking some slippery elm, helps soothe the stomach. It's not very pleasant to drink, but hey, neither is Pepto-Bismol. I'm not even sure I'm gonna eat dinner tonight, that's how bad I feel. But I think Dennis is gonna go grab some grub from the restaurant, and we will just spend the rest of tomorrow relaxing. This is awful. I have to run up twice. I feel like we were doing so good. We were on such a high enjoying Mexico, and then today's drive day was tough, and now I'm pretty sure I have food poisoning. So much better. I went all night without throwing up or having to go to the bathroom. It was a really bad, 6-hour bug, but I'm better. I'm so thankful. It was awful.
Yeah. Who wants to say something? Hi, what? You want to be on TV? What's going on? Eh?
Wind gloves.
You are.
Oh, are you having a michelada?
Yeah. Michelada time.
How is it?
It's very good. So I got a michelada and I got camarón aguachiles. It's pretty good, but it's spicy, so you might want to stay away.
I went some coco frio. Coconut water, for those who don't know, have a lot of electrolytes. So rather than having to have a sugary fake electrolyte drink, you can just drink coconut water.
Instead of having a high fructose corn syrup electrolyte drink, you mean?
Yes.
Because coconut water definitely still has a ton of sugar in it.
No added sugars, it's natural sugars. But it does have a lot of sugars. But now that I am done with our video, I'm going to lay out and just rest and enjoy our beautiful beachfront campsite.
Look how happy you are.
I'm not gonna lie, this is just what the doctor ordered. It was a rough night last night. I'm so glad I'm feeling better, and this 100% makes up for it. After another non-eventful night, thank heavens, we headed off to our next destination, stopping at the local Soriana for our first grocery run. It was a big haul, guys, costing a whopping $9.15 for 4 nights worth of food. We just got so lucky. We are arriving just as the sun is setting and they were closing up the gate. Their phone number was not working. I tried calling to make a reservation, but they didn't answer. I called like 4 times. There's no backup option for their hour, which means we'd be driving at dark. Not good. Whew.
Yeah, that would have got...
Close call.
That would have got very interesting very fast if we literally would have arrived 30 seconds later, because he was pulling his van out of the driveway in front of the closed gate when we pulled up.
Wow, the sunset is spectacular.
That's pretty crazy.
We made it here just in time. They have a palapa to sit and enjoy the view. Gorgeous. I don't know.
Okay, Quan. The point is, what's your problem?
He bought a few craft beers for when he got lonely and felt like he wanted a beer back in Mexico.
Well, okay, this is true. I said, whenever I'm longing for a domestic craft beer, I'll have them. But this is just a lager, the one that I'm drinking.
Oh, so this is just a lager.
This is the most unrare.
3 days, guys. Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, wherever you are in el mundo, in the world, welcome back. It's another beautiful day here in Mexico, and I could not be more grateful that we are in another beautiful beach camping spot. And this one is extra special because we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. And there is no one on the beach, not a single soul beside myself. Just pristine, gorgeous beachside. I have some work to do today. It's a Monday. Our video comes out shortly. And I have work to do outside of that for real estate. But I didn't want to be inside the whole day. We have such beautiful views. No one's out here. I mean, it's begging to be enjoyed. So I decided to come take my computer, my chair, and work while listening to the waves crash. We worked for the remainder of the day, finishing the night off watching the sunset under our private palapa. It was glorious. We're about to leave our little slice of heaven here in beautiful Celestino Gasca. Ooh, good memory.
Pretty sure it's Gasca.
Villa Celeste is a little oasis. I mean, it is perfection. There is a pool here, several cabanas that you can actually rent houses. They have decks and palapas all around for you to enjoy the beautiful views and sunsets. It's been such a treat, and it's kind of a bummer because no one's really here. I think this is like a really popular stopover for caravans, but this year...
Yeah, he says he's very popular with iOverlander app users, and he usually sells a ton of reservations throughout the year, but since no one's traveling, he's kind of had to switch it up a bit. He says he hasn't had, we're probably one of the maybe 2 reservations he's had this year. He is renting his cabanas long term right now, which is actually kind of cool because he's renting them to a couple of immune compromised families and giving them a safe haven to not have to move around while they're down here in Mexico. And he is taking very strong precautions to keep people safe here.
If you want to use the pool, you have to wait 30 minutes after from one family to the next so that they can sanitize everything and just kind of allow the air to clear. They have hand washing stations all throughout the entire grounds. Masks are pretty much required, especially if you're going to be in an area that others would be. Right now there's no one around, so we're okay with our masks off, but he's taking it very seriously. I know a lot of you guys have been curious and wondering what COVID is like in Mexico, and I think the easiest way to relate it is that it's pretty similar to what it is in the US. Every state and even every town or city is kind of handling it a little bit differently. So we've been to several places where people did not care less if you were wearing a mask. They weren't wearing masks. There didn't really seem to be any social distancing practices at all. And then we've come to other places where they clearly are taking it a little bit more seriously, and mask wearing is not just expected, but everyone's really doing it.
Yeah, the ritual of the sanitation is the only thing that's different. Like, they're making you either step on a mat full of some sort of sanitizer with your shoes to go into a shop, or they're, like in this case at Via Celeste, he actually sprayed the outside of the RV down with some sort of sanitizer when we arrived.
He also took our temperature and took down our names and where we were coming from, so to make sure that hopefully if we have any symptoms of the virus, we wouldn't be allowed to stay here. If you're coming to Mexico and wondering what it's like, I think it's important to take it on a state-by-state or town-by-town basis. We always have our mask on us wherever we're going because we don't know what the rules are or what the expectations are in that area, so it's better to be the one with the mask than to be the one without. We're always washing our hands and just still trying to participate and explore, but do so in a cautious and safe way for everyone. Today we're going to be heading to a different destination. We're rerouting. We've decided we kind of want to go to a more tranquilo path than what we originally had planned, so we found a really great lakeside campground. I'm excited. It's about a 4-hour drive, so I think we're going to pack up here and hit the road.
Let's do it.
We traded one paradise for another. It's never ending here in Mexico. You just keep delivering and delivering. We are on the beautiful lake Santa Maria de Oro, and this is 220 pesos per night. And normally this place would have a restaurant. I think they're closed right now because of COVID. There's just not enough people here to justify having the restaurant open. But it is beautiful. You can go swimming right here in the lake. There's boats or lanchas you can take out and go for a ride. It just feels so jungly and tropical. And getting down here was an adventure of itself. We were saying in the car ride how it was just really nice to not be expecting this place or have any preconceived notions and really just be kind of going on an adventure, not knowing what was around each turn. It was really fun. And it paid off well in this one because what was around the corner was gorgeous.
It's like a waterfall that you can visit, which is like 5 minutes back up the road.
We're just gonna enjoy the views now. Have a nice chill evening.
That's right.
We'll see you tomorrow. beautiful?
Yeah. That's what I do.
Good morning.
This feels awesome. I love how clear it is. It reminds me of the springs. Like, that's how clear it is. Like, I want to know more about this lake. I want to know if it's man-made. I want to know if it's spring-fed. But I don't know how to ask nobody none of that stuff.
Planning to just be here for a night, but it's too amazing to just leave this paradise so quickly. So we're gonna have like a tranquilo day, hopping in and out of the water. If we're feeling up to it, we might go see the waterfall that's up the mountain. I don't know, that might be a little more effort than we are willing to exert right now. Just do some work by the lake. I mean, I feel like we've just been rushing and rushing and rushing, and even before we came to Mexico, we had so much that we were trying to tackle before we crossed the border that it was just like hardcore work time. And there really wasn't a balance of like exploration and relaxation plus work. And so like being here in a place that is perfect for relaxing, we're just kind of trying to embrace it as much as possible. It's really nice. So I'm gonna make up some breakfast, get us a little bit of energy for all that swimming we just did. Okay, energy. I swam. I did my breaststroke.
I'm gonna try to do as little work as possible.
Like normal.
Like normal.
I also just want to mention how much easier this trip through Mexico has gone so far. The first trip, every single place we went, we were discovering something new, like how to get internet, what we need to do for water, just figuring out how the toll roads worked and free roads and navigating. Every single trip for at least like the first 3 to 4 weeks just was so fatiguing. This time it's been so much easier. If you're planning a trip to Mexico in your RV or a vehicle, we do have a guide that talks all about how to prepare your RV, how to plan a trip. It gives you suggested destinations, where to camp. We share our entire map that has all of the amazing places throughout Mexico. That alone is worth it. So if you're thinking about coming here, we walk you through everything you need so that it's not such a sharp learning curve like it was our first go round. You can have a much more tranquilo experience like we're having this time. We'll have a link to the guide down below. You can also go to this URL here and access the guide. Looks good. This is a great morning. Not our most productive morning in terms of work, but very relaxing morning.
Very good, thank you, baby.
Hi, buddy. Are you enjoying being outside? We're giving the cats outside time. Ollie got out. Little rascal. Pilar's sitting here in her little princess chair. Perfect as can be. Ollie weaseled himself out.
Where do you think you're going, huh?
I said I wasn't going far. I just wanted to explore a little. We almost had a hawk get him when we were at Twin Lakes. It was like this close to just snatching him up. Luckily, I was standing up to take a picture of him, and I got in the hawk's path, and it deterred the hawk from grabbing him. Like literally, I could feel the wings from the hawk bouncing off my head. It was so close to getting him. So that's why we keep them on leashes. I'm sure they wouldn't go very far, but we don't want to risk. We already saw an owl feather on the ground here, so we know there are birds of prey. We've seen lots of hawks during our time here, so we're just trying to keep you as safe as possible. I think we're gonna take another dip in the Laguna later before the sun sets and just continue with our tranquilo route.
Yes, and tranquil is definitely what we needed after the week that we had. We drove a ton of miles through 3 different states in 4 days. You know, didn't know what to expect with the locals taking over the toll booths. Liz got sick.
It's just a lot of ups and downs this week.
Yeah.
That's part of RVing Mexico, right? The good, the bad, the ups, the downs. That's part of RVing in general, but especially in Mexico.
If you enjoyed this week's video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button. It's free to do. It's the cheapest way to help us out. And until then, we'll see you next week. What's up, buddy? You want to come back outside? You ready to put your harness back on? Yeah? I mean, you're giving me the sad eyes and meowing like I'm torturing you and not letting you out, but you're the one not playing by the rules here, dude.
You're so cute. Very distracting for my work. If you're cold right now, sorry about you. Come to Mexico. Water's nice, weather's warm. Ahora, desayunar. Desayunamos? Desayunar. I don't know. Oh, I got something on my bathing suit.